You die. Not dramatically, not in a movie. You're 67 years old. You worked your whole life. You have a mortgage that's almost paid off, a savings account with something in it, and a $54,000 student loan balance you've been carrying since you were 22. And here's the part nobody warned you about. The government reaches into your estate, everything you own, everything you built, before your family gets a single dollar. This is not a horror story. This is the actual policy. This is the real math. And this is your life if you don't understand what you're signing when you take out a federal loan. So let's go back to the room where it all started. Back to the moment you made a decision that would quietly follow you for the next 4.5 decades. Picture yourself at 18 years old. You walk into a financial aid office. Someone slides a form across a desk. The number on the paper is $27,000. And it doesn't feel real because nothing at 18 feels real. It's not a credit card. There's no monthly bill arriving yet. It's just a number on a page and a handshake and a dorm room key. You sign. And because $27,000 isn't enough to cover everything, there's a second form, a private loan, $11,000 more from a bank. Your mom is sitting next to you. She co-signs without hesitating. She trusts you the way only a parent can. Nobody in that room explains what co-signing actually means. Not really. Now, here's what they didn't simulate for you in that office. Compound interest never sleeps. From the moment you take that loan, it starts growing. Not aggressively, just quietly, like a plant you forget to check on. You graduate 4 years later with $38,000 in federal loans. That's the average. That's your number today. You get a grace period of 6 months, and then your first bill arrives, $412 a month. You're 22. You make $36,000 a year at your first job. After rent, groceries, and utilities, that $412 feels like someone reaching into your chest and pulling something out every single month. So you do what the system offers you. You switch to an income-driven repayment plan. Your payment drops to $180 a month. You breathe again. But here's what income-driven repayment quietly does to you. It stretches your loan term to 20 or 25 years, and on a standard interest rate, you are now paying mostly interest, not principal. The balance barely moves. You're on a treadmill you can't see. You're 35 now. You got a raise, you got married, you have a kid on the way, and a car payment, and a savings account that feels smaller every time you look at it. Your loan balance? Still $31,000. After 13 years of payments, you've paid over $28,000, and the debt is barely lower than when you started. This is not a glitch, this is the design. Because here's the math nobody showed you at 18. On a $38,000 loan at 6.5% interest on a 25-year income-driven plan, you will pay back nearly $72,000 before it's forgiven. And if that forgiveness comes, it gets taxed as income. The IRS treats the forgiven amount like a bonus check. In the year your debt disappears, you could owe thousands in taxes on money you never actually received. That's called a tax bomb. And it lands on you. Now, let's say you're not on an income-driven plan. Let's say you've been grinding the standard 10-year repayment. You're almost done. But life happened. A job loss, a medical bill, a month where everything went wrong at once, and you deferred for 18 months. Interest capitalized. It was added to your principal. Your payoff date just moved. You did everything right, and you still got pushed back. Here's the what if that changes everything. What if you never fully pay it off? You're 58. You still carry $22,000 in federal student loan debt. You have a retirement account, a modest home, and a plan to live simply in your final chapter. You're not rich, you're not broke. You're just carrying this thing. And then your health changes. You pass away at 64 with $19,000 remaining on your federal loans. Here's what happens next. Federal student loans, the ones issued by the government, are discharged at death. Discharged means canceled. Your family does not inherit that specific debt. But that's only the federal side. That $11,000 private loan you took at 18, the one that covered what federal aid didn't reach, that lender doesn't care that you're gone. Private lenders file a claim against your estate, the house, the retirement account, everything you spent a lifetime building. It gets picked over before your family sees a single dollar. And your mom. She's 64 now. She's retired. She has a fixed income, a small savings account, and a life she quietly built after you grew up and left. She opens her mailbox one morning and finds a letter from that same bank because she co-signed. And co-signers don't get discharged when you die. The lender doesn't pause, doesn't mourn, doesn't wait. It pivots directly to her, the person who sat next to you in that financial aid office and didn't hesitate for a second. The debt you carried for 45 years just became hers. Here's what changes everything. You're not 58 right now. You're not 35. You're at the beginning, which means the ending of that story isn't written yet. And there are 4 decisions standing between where you are and where that version of you ended up. The first decision, know what you're signing. Federal loans discharge when you die. Private loans do not. That single distinction, invisible in a financial aid office at 18, is worth every minute it takes to read the fine print before you put your name on anything. The second decision, if you refinance your federal loans into a private loan to chase a lower interest rate, you permanently surrender your federal protections, discharge at death, income-driven repayment, deferment options, all of it gone. The rate looks better on paper. The exposure doesn't. The third decision, understand what co-signing actually is. When someone signs next to you, or when you sign next to someone you love, you are not just vouching for each other's intentions. You are agreeing to absorb the full debt if the other person can't, at any point, for any reason, including death. That is what your mom agreed to in that office. That is what was never explained. The fourth decision, ask about a cosigner release. Most private lenders offer it after a set number of consecutive on-time payments. It exists. It removes the cosigner from the loan entirely. Most people never ask for it because most people never knew it was there. 4 decisions, 4 pieces of information nobody handed you at 18, and every single one of them rewrites the ending. So, what if your student loans follow you to the grave? If they're federal, they don't have to. The law protects you from passing that specific debt to your family. But if even a portion of your debt is private, if you co-signed with someone you love, if you refinanced and didn't know what you were giving up, then yes, this follows you further than you ever planned. The real what if isn't about dying. The real what if is about living with a debt you never fully understood for decades because nobody sat you down at 18 and walked you through what compound interest does to a human life. You deserved that conversation before you signed. And somewhere right now, in a financial aid office under fluorescent lights, an 18-year-old is sitting across a desk. A form is being slid toward them. The number on the page doesn't feel real yet. It never does. Until it does.